It's about what's happening. That's what the world needs to know. Okay. And it's about what's currently happening that no one wants to believe. Okay. To tell these people how to move on past something that's not even over is futile. It is an injustice to that person because it's an implication that it's an undertone of something's not happening. Okay. So people are talking about things. It's just because you may not be privy to something current, present day, it doesn't mean that that's not happening current, present day. As I was saying, not everybody is hung up on the past. And also telling people to just get over stuff that hasn't been properly addressed is also ignorance. Okay. Something that is not properly handled, properly addressed within any structure, community, business, church, organization, family, it's a no bueno. Okay. Ill advised. Now that's convenient for the people who did shit. That's mighty convenient for them. But that's been a part of the problem. That's mighty convenient. Not owning up to it and then expecting the world to just get over it. Not acknowledging it. In other words, keeping the secret and expecting everybody else, especially the one that suffered the most from it, as they were gaslit about it to begin with, to just get over it. How could they move past it? What's the solution? The solution is truth. Truth, which is something that the guilty parties are not interested in. It is further abuse and injury to the one that was on the receiving end to expect them to be la da da, sure. Yeah, you're different, God. Sure, you tried to kill me. Sure, you put a hit on me. Sure, you stole from me. Sure, sure. I love you. Right. I'm gonna tell you all a story about something that happened 1,000 years ago. Maybe here I may have to do it later. Where this is, we would go to targeted individuals when they're trying to get hope and understand what's happening, and they go to people like, let's say they go to the mother and the father and stuff. And in narcissistic family structures and dynamics, the scapegoat is always told. There's always excuses made. There's always this whole energy of, they love you. I remember the birther of mine, so the one mother, the one I perceived, when they actually have knowledge of certain things they themselves have been a part of. But that's the stuff that is not functional. And people that have actually met Dr. Phil should know that because Dr. Phil talks about that kind of stuff. That's not okay. That's he talks about. I'm using him because there are people who like him and people who have visited him, people who have, did shows with him and all sorts of things. You don't tell the target of the family. You don't do that when you know full well that it's off and wrong behavior when you know what you know. You don't sit there and tell them they love you. They love you. They wouldn't behave like that. When they kicked me and my son out for no reason, for bullshit, and even deeper than that, I just don't have time to go on that right now. Okay. What was deeper behind what appeared? Okay. Needless to say, I nor my son has ever conducted in any such way, shape, form, or fashion to warrant that extreme type of behavior. Okay. Now, I'm over that. Why am I talking about it now? Because I am referencing something that I was told by the birther, and I'm using it to bridge people almost basically being their flying monkey, their spokesman, trying to mediate for them. That's toxic, especially when full disclosure is not being given to the person. That's toxic, that's abuse. And if you follow Dr. Phil, then you should know that. If you have any understanding or understanding about mental health, about personality disorders, about abuse and what it looks like in all the various forms, then you know that that's abuse. Okay. So now, moving on from that, I'm just sharing that for some of y'all out there. It's like, no, mm-mm, mm-mm, no, no, no. That's insult to injury, further abuse, and it's not getting to what needs to be had, what needs to happen. Truth, and people holding everyone accountable when they know full well what their behavior has been. Now, I'm not talking about in cases where there are people out there. So if you're somebody out there and you don't know anything about stuff, then I'm not really talking about you. I'm talking about people who lie, though. I am talking about y'all. So I may have to come back and do on another platform. Anyway, so just to give a glimpse of what goes on. So my son's money and accounts are attacked, just like everything else. My money, all of that under siege. Okay, playing games, games, games. So I ordered. Okay, he had a little bit of money, and I say a little bit because you know what, $30 ain't no money. You can't even get a full meal. $30 is not what $30 was in 1985, 1995, 2005. It's not what it once was. Okay, in terms of what it can do for you. So I ordered him because he has Walmart delivery. I've been sharing how people have been either playing games with it, tampering with the groceries as they shop and deliver because basically they're the app is for people who are not mobile, and that's the whole convenience of that. But unfortunately, anybody can get that job. All you need is a card. And truth be told, you don't have to have that. Your homie could have a car, and you could. All you need is a job. Okay, and I've already told how several occasions where his groceries have been tampered with. He has had reactions to substances that they have tampered and put, and so have I. Some of these people are witches and warlocks and wizards and sorcerers, and on the story side, they're a part of it, and they do their little spells as well. Because this gives them, I'm trying to tell y'all, you got to get hip to some of these strategies that these toxic cults and groups get involved with. It gives them access to the people, whether that whoever their targeted population is at any given time. So as they're targeting disabled people or whoever that they got their eye on that they want to take advantage of for that day, that week, that month, whatever. It gives them an opportunity to tamper with their cards on file because that was a trend that was happening, not just with me, it was in the news. Okay, something is verifiable. Okay. So they do all sorts of stuff from as they're shopping. They do all sorts of things, pretending like items can't be found, shopping everything to the to the last item, and then suddenly needing to drop it. Like these are all strategies to cause inconveniences and frustrations for the target. Even if the target gets a refund, even if they still get their items, the whole point is this is all a part of the fuckery to hopefully get an energetic narcissistic supply out of it, which is to annoy and get the person angered and upset and reactive, just so that they can feel like they accomplished something, that they were successful at something. Okay. And so today they did the same thing. I placed the order last night, so it gave it plenty of time, okay, for anybody to basically catch the order. And they delivered it, but and they showed that they delivered a full. I screenshot who the shopper was. I have all that information, and I reported it. Okay, they basically they showed all the items as delivered, and when I went through the bags, there was two items missing. Okay, two of the main items at that was missing. Walmart refunded, not a big deal. See what I'm saying? Walmart refunded, so it's not like they're trying to like fight me on it. It could be because they know they have you know people being weird doing shit. They know that they are hiring any and everybody. Okay, so it's refunded, not a problem. He's gonna get the items, but here's my point: it's supposed to cause annoyance, irritation, frustration, in some cases theft. Like I don't know if these people even care that they may lose their jobs, or they don't care, or they lie. The point that I'm saying is this is happening. This is a part of me and my son's experience. For people that I am reaching out to out there in the universe, if you happen to stumble across my stuff, first and foremost, I want to say have the courage to ask me questions. Have the courage to admit that you're watching me. Number one, that you're watching me online. That's the first step of courage for some of you. Okay. Have the courage to admit it. Have the courage to acknowledge that. Okay. Number two, okay, since you are watching, this is for the world to hear. This is what I'm experiencing. This is not about being negative Nancy. This is about exposing. As you can see, I'm just fine. I am not in a negative mind space. I am not any of that. Actually, I optimize, I clear, I address, I feel through. I'm not bypassing anything. I'm actually okay. That's not the point. The point is that it's happening and it needs to be dealt with. And as long as people are covering for folks when they know that there's been a big lie and a big secret, and you gaslight or deny or avoid, you are revealing yourself already. I just want to say that.